actually bring you that much gardening at the moment because I'm hoping next year to open my garden up to visitors, and in order to do that I need to make the garden accessible to people of all abilities. And as we have a lot of steps in the garden, I'm having some of those taken out of the garden, and I've now got a contractor in who's taking out steps and putting in ramps and handrails and things to make life a little bit easier for those of us who are maybe a little bit less able. So I'll show you what's going on, but there's not going to be much gardening in this little show. Well, this area was where one of the largest steps was in the garden. As you can see, it's all now shuttered out, ready for a concrete pour. There's going to be some stones or something put in here. I'm not very good at this, which is why I've got someone else to do it. But this is going to be turned into a nice long ramp suitable for access down into the garden for people of all abilities. And behind me will be a nice handrail which will lead down this side as well. So that's going to be good. However, we can get a little bit of gardening done, and I'll show you what I'm doing down the bottom of the garden this week. Well, here I am in the polytunnel. Haven't got that much going on in here at the moment, but what I have got is I've got these little pots here, and I'll show you this. Now, these are pet food delivery containers which a friend of mine has given me. I've got quite a few of these, and in the moment I've got some broccoli growing in here, but I thought, how about, got some nice depth on these, use them to sow some carrots in. So I'll show you how I prepare these boxes, make them suitable, and sow some carrot seeds, and we're going to the greenhouse to do that. Well, this is one of the food boxes, and the way that I prepare these to plant, let's just take the lid off for a moment. First of all, I'm going to just turn it upside down, and I'm going to pop a few holes through the bottom. Now, as it's polystyrene, you've got to be a bit careful you don't split it and send it everywhere, but I put about 12 holes just through the bottom. So I do 4 down the side, 4 down the middle, and then another 4 on the other side, and that's going to allow plenty of drainage out of this pot. Now, it is very deep, and I want crocks, and a lid provides the perfect source for the crocks to the bottom to stop me losing the compost. And with this, I just take my craft knife, make a few scores across, come back the other way, and this will now just split. If my hands are strong enough to do it, there we go, and then I can just take these bits, pop them inside, and they are going to help me keep the compost inside the box rather than it washing out with any water. So we'll keep popping this inside here, and because of the ridges on here, if we make sure that sits over the top of the holes, you've got no problem with losing your compost. And I don't want it to be more than about 1 thickness on the bottom, so keep an eye on that. But 1 lid normally works out absolutely perfect just to cover that bottom in, and that's going to give me a very good depth for sowing some carrots. I would say the clearance that I've now got at the bottom here, there we go, probably around about 150, 160 mil. So that's going to give us a nice depth for some carrots. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to fill that with compost and get the seeds out, and we'll just sow those inside. Well, as I'm sure you are aware, carrots are a small seed. So I've filled this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and just pop some into my hand. Now they are a very, very fine seed, and we don't want too thick inside here. I have compressed this slightly, and so we're just going to take a real fine drizzle of these seeds over the surface. Very, very fine if we can. And if we get 60–70% germination, and I'm sure that's going to be enough, just a couple in there, we will have a nice little crop of carrots coming up from there. So I'm going to just pop those back into the packet, and they will go back into my seed tin. What I'm going to do with this now, I'm going to take a small amount of compost and just finely cover those seeds. Just gently sieving it through my hands. And then just gently press that down so we've got nice contact with the seeds, compost below and above. Then I'm going to water that, but I'm going to put that into the polytunnel before I water it, because already there's a reasonable weight there. When it's got water in it, it's going to be heavier. So I'll take that round, get it watered, and in 10 to 14 days we'll start seeing these carrots coming through. Hopefully it's going to be a worthwhile experiment, because on the little table that I've got in that polytunnel, I can have this up the top. That's going to have it near enough a metre from the ground at the top here, which is high enough to stop any carrot fly wanting to attack it. Happy days. Hope it works. After a day in the garden, there's nothing nicer than to sit here. These are my cucumbers. They're coming on nicely. I've got some lovely fruits just coming on here. Tomatoes are growing well, even though before I shaded the greenhouse, some of the leaves got a bit burnt and they're a little bit crispy, but the plants have come back lovely and they're growing really well. Got some lovely flowers and some baby fruits on there, so everything's nice. There's something that I haven't shared with you, apart from my family, not many people know, but I used to, before my hands got really, really bad, I used to be a bit of a blues guitarist, and so I thought maybe I'd just leave you with a little bit of some gentle blues, because the hands don't feel too bad today, so I thought I'll give it a go. So just a little bit of 12 bar for you. Okay. Well, I don't know how the finger's going to work, but we'll just see. Well, that wasn't quite as good as I used to be able to do it, but the hand's a little bit worn out these days, but it's so lovely just to put a guitar back in my hands and create a little bit of sound. It's a blessing I've had all my life, and it's sad to feel it slipping away, but other things come, and some of the things that are coming are these beautiful plants. These are some of my tomatoes here, and just got some flowers here, and some fruits over the side there. And yeah, so as one thing may slip away slightly, other things come in, and the good Lord has his reasons, and we live with those. So that's the end of this little show. Some of this will be included in our August show, but there's a lot of new stuff planned to go into that for your enjoyment. Also, I have been back down to my favourite little pub in Hastings and seen the work they've done in the garden, and I've taken some pictures of that, and I'll be including those in my next show for your enjoyment, because they have made a wonderful job of the new raised beds, and the water feature, as promised, has now been put in as well, so I'm sure you'll enjoy seeing that. But for now, that is it for this little show. It's been fun. The sun is shining. It's been raining today as well, so everything is being watered outside for me. The water butts are filling up, and happy days. I can say no more. Hopefully by the time we get to the next show, the ramp will have been built and will be usable, which is the most important thing, and we can test that out with a few friends before we consider opening the garden next year. But anyway, that's it for now. So I'll just leave you very, very briefly with a small glass of wine, and my favourite words: stay safe, be kind to each other, happy gardening, and cheers.